Hello and welcome. आप देख रहे हैं In the Air, presented by CricTracker and powered by 11 Wickets. मैं हूँ रूपा रामनी and today is going to be a very interesting clash. ये है Southern Derby जो हम कहते हैं, fight of two Southern teams हो रहा है एक नई venue में in Delhi. This is a new one that they're going to play the first match in. It's Chennai versus Hyderabad. और उस match के बारे में बात करने के लिए joining me is none other than Lalchand Rajput. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in and welcome once again to the show.
Yeah, my pleasure, Rupha.
All right. So let's start off. By looking at the points table first before we give you a head-to-head. What does that points table look like? That's what it is as of now because Bangalore फिर से number 1 position में चली गई है because of an incredible 1-run win over Delhi. काफी एक amazing, exciting contest था last night between these two teams. Of course, Hetmeyer almost make Hetmeyer and Pant, in fact, almost getting the team across. लेकिन काफी एक heartbreaking loss था. And if we talk about the matchup today, आज जो दो team है, which we already set up for you, match number 23, almost the end of, we're in the middle of phase 2 of this competition. Chennai taking on Hyderabad in Delhi. काफी एक अगर हम momentum की बात करें लाचन जी, so it's obviously in favor of a very resurgent Chennai team. Hyderabad के लिए this win is very crucial because they've lost 4 out of 5 matches.
Yeah, I think it will be very difficult for Hyderabad because the way they played last game, I think they should have won, but they went into a super over and then they lost in the super over. That could have brought them, that confidence and the momentum going forward. But the way the Chennai is playing, I think it's superb. They're on a high, and they're on the second in the list as well in the table. So playing in the bottom teams, yes, it will be difficult for Hyderabad to really overcome. But the way Chennai is playing, I think they are definitely looking as favorites.
Right, they're looking as favorites. And before we get into the nitty-gritties or थोड़ा बहुत हम discussion करें regarding the concerns or the positives of both the teams, let's quickly tell you what the trivia question is. ये आप सब के लिए है, who is watching us, who's joining us today. In fact, thank you so much हमें support करने के लिए. But this is the question for you today. Who is the only player to lift an Indian T20 League trophy both with Chennai and Hyderabad? काफी एक आसान सा सवाल था वो. And I'm sure you know the answer to that. So keep sending it in. And अगर answer नहीं पता है, wait till the end of the show and we'll of course reveal the answer to you. Quite a simple one that. But Lalchand ji, let's quickly talk about the venue because अगर हम venue की बात करें in terms of Chennai and Hyderabad, वो दोनों teams इस venue में कैसे perform किए हैं in the past. Let's look at how Chennai has done at the Arun Jaitley Stadium. They've won 6 out of the 9 matches they've played. And अगर हम Hyderabad की बात करें, if we look at Hyderabad's record at the same at the Delhi venue, they've had a pretty good run as well. So it's a stadium that both enjoy playing at. Rajput.
Yeah, I think it's a good venue for both the teams. They have done exceptionally well. So again, there will be no home advantage or away advantage, but they both have done exceptionally well on that ground. But I still feel that looking at the composition, if Hyderabad has to win, I think there has to be a big score from David Warner. Otherwise, they will struggle. David Warner or best to have to get a 70 or a 80. Otherwise, they will struggle. It's good to see that Kane Williamson is in the team because last game he almost won the game for that because I was been telling everyone that they should have included Kane Williamson. I know he was with injury, but he's a guy who can take the game till the last. He can maneuver it. He can play a defensive game. He can play an attacking game as well. So he's the guy who at Hyderabad look at it in the middle order. But I think the top order has to fire if they have to really win because they have got a match-winning bowler spinner. Rashid Khan is there. Their medium pacers are doing well, but still, I still feel that they are lacking in that middle. Their middle order batting is the worry, and I think they have been doing it for this season over the last couple of games.
All right, आपने Hyderabad की बात छेड़ी ली, so let's in fact take in a fan question in fact at this point क्योंकि fans काफी कुछ questions पूछे हैं about this particular encounter. So let's take a question from our fans. Vamshi asks, Manish Pandey, Abdul Samad, Priyam Garg सब bench पर हैं. आपको क्या लगता है इनका एक role बनता है? Do they play a part in the 11 to strengthen the middle order? Otherwise, what else do you see Hyderabad At least, what do you think they should do in order to strengthen the middle?
See, looking at Manish Pandey, he played earlier games, but he was really struggling. He could not get going. So they had to change it. Kedar Jadhav is now there, but I think they should give a long run because in
Yeah.
T20, you cannot just come and score runs. So you have to be really, giving them a long run so that, they get used to it. And especially in the middle order, because sometimes you get only less number of overs. So it's very difficult. So I think Abdul Samad can be looked at because he is a guy who can really, get going in the middle.
So due to the technical issues, Rupha might have left. Uh, Thank you, Lalchand, for joining us. Like we were talking about how the CSRH middle order can increase, like how they can strengthen about their SRH middle order. Like when
Yeah,
we are
see,
talking about like there is one more guy I want to talk about CSK, Jadeja.
mhm.
What do you think his performance was last match was very like is he almost scored 37 runs in the last over? What do you think?
I think that was the turning point of the game because if you look at the score, last over 37 runs, I think it's too much for any bowler. And that can, chasing 120, 130 or chasing 170. So that makes a lot of difference. So I think he's the guy who can turn the game with his batting, with his bowling, and with his fielding as well. Because if he takes a brilliant catch and gets a brilliant run out, okay, he's in the game all the time. So he's a valuable player for the CSK. I would say go-to player because if they are in trouble, they look at Jadeja, and he has really adopted it very well. His role as a bowler, as a batsman, and as a fielder as well. So he is actually an all-rounder, a true all-rounder, I would say.
All right. Sorry about that, Kaltanji. I had to. You were thrown in the in the middle there with technological confusion. But thank you
Yeah,
so much for doubling up as a host as well.
yeah.
Always can rely on you for multitasking. But yes, we were speaking about CSK and उनके जो positive है जडेजा के बारे में आपने बोला. And let's also look at maybe move to Hyderabad and look at some more concerns. We did talk about their कितना strength someone like Kane Williamson brings to their outfit. क्या somewhere उनका concern रहा है वो Indian performances जो whether it's a batting or a bowling, Indian performances have let them down, especially in this particular season?
Yeah, if you look at their middle order, I think from Manish Pandey they started off with the early season, but he could not do well. So then they changed it. Then they brought Kedar Jadhav, then Abdul Samad, then Abhishek Sharma as well. So if you look at that, they are not consistent enough.
Yeah.
And plus Shankar is there. So Shankar can be a good all rounder who can bat and bowl, but they are not doing their
Yes.
potential. what I mean to say that they are not winning games. If you look at Shankar's strike rate is 113. I think at this level it is very, very poor. You got to have more than 140. 140 to 150 if you want to be in the middle order. And plus with bowling also, economy is not bad, 7.2. It's very good, I would say, because anything economy less than 6.5 is very good. So he's just about borderline. But again, I would say that they have to contribute more with both bat and ball if you're an all-rounder. And plus the middle order guy is not taking the responsibility to win the game. That's very important. And if you look at the Hyderabad, they're relying too much on the top three. And if they lose too early wicket, then they are in the doldrums.
That's right. आपने top order की बात की लालचंद जी. In fact, let's talk about David Warner. उनका ये he's had a very sort of a warm sort of we've not seen the Warner of the past. Kafi pressure, kafi responsibility on someone like Warner.
Yes, it is, because you're a captain and you have to lead from the front. The team members look at you as a role model, because as a captain you have to lead from the front. So there is a lot of responsibility on him. That's why I was really surprised why they have not made Kane Williamson captain. Maybe because he might be going away half season, I don't know. But he's the ideal captain because he's cool. He knows how to manage the players, and plus he's in the middle who can take the team through, because he's a guy, I think, a captain guy who can really manage it well. So it's pressure on David Warner. But as I said, if Hyderabad want to win, they have to get a big score from David Warner. Maybe a 70-80, a quick 70-80, or then he has to bat deep till 50 over.
Yeah, and here's some numbers. अगर हम कुछ interesting numbers की बात करें regarding David Warner. I mean, looking at his strike rate, especially against the pacers versus the spinners, he has enjoyed some. He's in fact, if you look at the pacers first, he struggled in fact against some of these guys. अगर वो या फिर सैम करन क्यों ना हो या दीपक चहर भी क्यों ना हो, लेकिन कॉन्ट्रास्टिंगली अगर हम उसके स्ट्राइक रेट अगेंस्ट स्पिनर्स, particularly someone like a जडेजा या फिर मोइन अली इवन और ताहिर, काफी एक एक्सप्लोसिव स्ट्राइक रेट है. So will that be a bit of a concern, especially in this kind of a wicket? You know how his game is and how he's played.
Yeah, see, this strike rate with the medium pace, with the spinners is better because he has got over from the medium pacers. Because he cannot strike more than 150, 180 or 160 against the spinner straight away. Because he is an opener, so he gets an opportunity to get his eye in with the medium pacer. And once he gets his eye in and the spinners come, then he likes to dominate. But here, what's happening that, people are trying, to get him out early. He's not batting that long to get on the spinners. And he's not looking in that good touch as well. So he tries to overpower the spinners and then he gets out to them. Because Jadeja might get him out or Moeen Ali, because he's not in that flow, I would say. As a batsman, you want to be in the flow. You want to be in the momentum. You want to strike the ball well. And in T20, if you don't strike the ball well, then you're always under pressure. And pressure from the team management, pressure from the franchisee, and pressure for himself because he's a captain.
Right, काफी pressure है उन पर. Of course, अगर they will take some confidence from the last match, even though they didn't cross the line. Maybe having come so close, that would probably inspire them to do something. We're just about a few seconds away from the toss. So the most pertinent question, Lalchand ji, would be कि क्या आप कुछ changes देखना चाहेंगे in the CSK side or the Chennai team में कोई changes वो करेंगे भी, considering Jason Burundorf is I think available for selection. Moeen Ali should come back. एक game उन्होंने miss किया because of a slight niggle, वो शायद वापसी करेंगे. लेकिन कुछ और changes क्या आप expect करते हैं इस side में?
Chennai में तो I don't think there will be much changes because I know Dhoni, he believes giving lot of rope for the players. Unless somebody is injured, say like Moeen Ali, if he's fit, he will be definitely coming back. And I don't think there will be much changes. But in the Hyderabad team, definitely I think they will be looking at in the middle, especially they might bring back again Manish Pandey, who is more seasoned player who has been around for so long. So he might use his experience, or even I would say middle order. Kedar Jadhav is there. Kedar can really get going. but I don't think there is much to choose from. To be very honest, I think Kane Williamson has to play. That is no doubt about it. And I was surprised. I was surprised last game. Why didn't they open in the power play, the super over? Sorry, in the super over with Besto. It was baffling to me, because he was the guy who was striking well. He got 2-3 sixes when he was batting, and his strike rate is more than 150, 160. So I was surprised. So they have to get that combination and think tank right. I think that's very important.
Well, the news from the center जो हमें update अभी दिल्ली से मिल रहा है is that हैदराबाद ने टॉस जीता है और बल्लेबाजी करने का चुनाव लिया है, which is exactly which is interesting. What would you say? Probably एक थोड़ा सा एक confident decision there, Lalchand ji. They want to put up the runs and try and defend it.
I wouldn't say it's a confident decision. This is a negative decision because most of the teams, they look at the target because they know the target and they chase, because Hyderabad is not good at chasing, because they saw that in the last game. So they must have said that why not just bat first and get a score and then try to bowl them out, because that is the only option they can look. It's a fresh wicket. It's the first game there in Delhi as well. But I still feel Delhi wicket, if you bat well, you can chase, unless it is a turning wicket. We don't know. So we'll soon find out, because they must have seen the wicket and they must have thought that it might turn later on. Even the dew factor, I think dew factor will come into the play as well, because in Delhi, you can say, better in Delhi because the dew factor will be there. So I'm surprised how they have chosen batting, unless the wicket is a turning wicket.
Yeah, we saw थोड़ी देर पहले भी हमें visuals हम देख रहे थे. We saw कि Warner was really observing the wicket. He was checking it out. Probably a decisive decision बल्लेबाजी करने के लिए. But maybe also a lot of they're relying a lot on their bowling department. क्या कुछ, we know that Bhuvneshwar sat out because of a niggle. और एक news जो हमें मिल रहा है कि Manish Pandey has come back into the 11. So like you were saying, Lalchand ji, that was something that they had to do because वो middle order काफी एक brittle नजर आ रहा था. Bowling lineup, maybe we're hearing that Sandeep Sharma could possibly come in. I mean, he's had, if we see some of his numbers this season, थोड़ी बहुत जो matches खेले हैं, he's impressed. Lot of onus on him, especially in the absence of someone like a Bhuvneshwar. We don't know if Bhuvneshwar is there, but if he continues to be absent, काफी responsibility इनके shoulders पर भी है, Lalchand ji.
Yeah, because Sandeep Sharma is there in the IPL for a long time. He has played for Punjab and he has moved around and he is much more experienced as well. And if you look at his match, 93 matches, 109 wickets, I think it's fantastic. And his economy rate is also below 8. So for a new ball bowler, it's very good. And I still feel that, he can add some value with the new ball up in front. He can take those early wickets. I think it can put, Chennai Super Kings, Chennai in the back foot. So it's a good option, but I don't know what. But Pandey is definitely playing, which I said, he should, because he's a senior most guy, so he can come back and make use of his resources, I would say. So let's hope, they really do justice to their potential and make a contribution where team can win.
जी हाँ, और playing 11 जल्द ही में हम आपको दिखाएंगे ताकि you get a sense of the entire of both the teams who are going to be taking on आज. Just एक बार फिर अगर आप अभी हमें join कर रहे हैं on In the Air powered by 11 wickets, we'll just update you कि हैदराबाद ने टॉस जीता है. They're playing in Delhi here. It's a new venue for both the teams और उन्होंने बल्लेबाजी करने का चुनाव किया है. Of course, the two changes that we've mentioned, we'll show that again once we get the playing level. और हमें ये भी सुनने का आ रहा है, Lalchand ji, that Moin is in fact fit and he's obviously back in the 11. So let's talk a bit about him. शायद उनका presence काफी एक जो balance की जरूरत थी, especially in that one drop position, वो काफी वो dimension, the whole batting lineup kind of looks a little different उनके inclusion से.
जरूर, क्योंकि देखो मोइन अली 3 पे आता है तो उनका बैटिंग बहुत लंबा हो जाता है नीचे, और दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई आई थिंक दे आर पुटिंग हिम इन नंबर 3. और सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है कि वो एंजॉय कर रहा है नंबर 3 में, बिकॉज वो चाहता है कि उसको ज्यादा नंबर ऑफ बॉल्स मिले, ज्यादा ओवर्स मिले, एंड देन इवन दैट पावर प्ले, बिकॉज जब भी प्लेयर्स लोग अंदर होते हैं, सो ही कैन टेक द एडवांटेज. So both the way, it's a win-win situation for him. So he's really enjoying at number 3, and plus he's a good off spinner who has got a lot of wickets in between as well. So it gives a lot of two-dimensional thing, because not two-dimensional, three-dimensional, because he's a brilliant fielder. He can bat, he can bowl. So that's a good plus for CSK. Plus they have got Lungi Ngidi back. I think he's one of the good strike bowlers who can bowl with the knee ball as well as in the middle and death over. So it's a I think clear this thing for Devon Bravo as well, because Bravo basically bowls in the middle and the death over. So I think Ngidi can do that job. So they are just trying to rotate those bowlers, because Bravo plays few games, Ngidi plays few games, so they are fresh, because still we are not in the halfway. So hopefully they will be trying to make sure that combination before going into the last leg of the series. Oh, sorry,
Yes,
last leg of the
of the tournament. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, और अगर हम playing 11 पर एक बार एक final नजर डालें, you heard the changes, but just to take you through it again, चेन्नई में 2 changes हैं. मोइन अली जो कि पिछली मैच में एक छोटा सा निगल, थोड़ा सा डिस्कम्फर्ट की वजह से वो पिछली गेम नहीं खेले थे. Didn't make much of a difference considering someone like a Jadeja kind of ran rough shot, लेकिन वो वापसी कर रहे हैं इस टीम में in place of Imran Tahir, and of course Lungi Ngidi भी वापसी कर रहे हैं in place of Dwayne Bravo. और अगर हम हैदराबाद की बात करें, so we have again 2 more changes on expected lines. 2 उनके young uncapped खिलाड़ी तो शायद इस सीजन उतना strong performances नहीं दे रहे थे. विराट सिंह and अभिषेक शर्मा बाहर बैठेंगे और उनकी जगह ले रहे हैं संदीप शर्मा, and as Lalchand ji was mentioning, Manish Pandey. ये 2 big news है from the center. And if we had to pinpoint अगर कोई भी concerns की बात करें, even with the Chennai outfit, Lalchand ji, do you feel that there is something that could worry them? Maybe अभी इस phase में शायद वो अभी नजर नहीं आ रहा है, लेकिन कोई एक ऐसा worry चेन्नई टीम के लिए जो शायद they might have to plug in the later stages?
I think they will be looking at those options, because see what happens as a team management, you have to look at options before it comes in the crucial stages, because there you'll require a player who has been doing well, and you don't want to give a player at a crucial stage, like we have to qualify, and then there comes a lot of pressure on them. So they have to look at those options and give those opportunities earlier on. Same thing, I think Hyderabad must be looking at. Sandeep Sharma is a great bowler, and I'm sure if he gets early wickets, 2 wickets, I think that can really change the game. So it's good to see that they are going for young guys.
Yes, and अगर हम इस वक्त एक छोटा सा deviation ले and talk about also the fantasy picks and the fantasy league 11 wickets, because we know a lot of you have already downloaded the app. और अगर जिन्होंने download नहीं किया है, it's very simple. Please get on 11 wickets, download the app. और आपको अगर एक quick look at the rules आपको अगर हम बता दें, तो 100 credits हैं आपको अपनी टीम इसके साथ आप बना सकते हैं, और 11 players आप चूज कर सकते हैं with those 100 credits. Obviously थोड़े बहुत criteria हैं, थोड़े बहुत special specifications हैं. आप 3 batsmen, 3 bowlers, minimum 1 all-rounder and 1 wicket-keeper जरूरी है आपके टीम में रहने की. बाकी you can always kind of make a sort of a combination. और एक सबसे बढ़िया बात है 11 wickets के बारे में, which I have not seen in any other fantasy app, which is your 12th man can get you fantasy points. So अगर आपने टीम already बना ली है and you want to take another person, of course you can go to our expert here, Lalchand Rajput, who's gotten it right on almost all of the last few counts. So asking you, Lalchand ji, for your picks for today, who are those 4 people जिनमें से आप शायद वो game changers कहला सकते हैं आज?
Game one is definitely Ravindra Jadeja and Fab du Plessis from Chennai.
Yeah.
And from Besto and Kane Williamson.
Those are your 2 pretty obvious picks, and yes, why not? Your foreign hands वही deliver करते आए हैं for Hyderabad. Kane Williamson had a fantastic last game. He was almost dehydrated and exhausted at the end of it. But yes, guys, I'm sure if you haven't had any of these, you know exactly who to kind of pick out, agar aap already 11 bana chuke hain and you don't have any of these, just figure out how you can make and include some of these suggestions by Lalchand Rajput. Also, before we get your match prediction, a very quick question, Lalchand ji. In this wicket, yeah, you don't know. Yes, we don't know. They say thoda bol rahe hain thoda bahut grass hai isme, shayad it might go for some runs. But what is the total that a Hyderabad team should look at? कि अच्छा ये total हम defend कर सकते हैं और ये total is relatively safe when it comes to the Chennai batting line.
I think it's very difficult to say unless we look at the wicket, because I have not seen the wicket, so I can't tell you. But any total in T20 is not safe. So one guy can just get, like, Jadeja can get 30 runs in 1 over, so there is no. But still, you can put pressure.
Right, there seems to...
Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you hear me, Rupha?
Now I can hear you. Yes, Lalchand.
Yeah.
Now I can hear you.
I think 170 to 180 would look a good total, because they got a bowling resources where, Rashid Khan, and they can put a little bit of pressure. But still, I still go with Chennai Super Kings.
Oh, that's your prediction. Chennai Super Kings. Not bad. Fans ki sunte hain. Let's see what the fans have to say. Chennai versus Hyderabad. Let's see about what the poll says there. काफी लोग ने हैदराबाद को भी सपोर्ट किया है. It's a very close one in Chennai's favor. 56% of you जो हमें अभी join कर रहे हैं believe that Chennai Super Kings may come out of this encounter smiling once again. All right, and if just before we kind of wrap this up, we'll also take the trivia question. Before we show you the answer, remind me of the question again. हैदराबाद और चेन्नई का एक खिलाड़ी जो दोनों टीमों के लिए टाइटल जीते हैं. The answer is very simple, guys. If you've already got it, it was Karan Sharma. I'm sure that's the answer. Yes, Karan Sharma, who's also won the title with Mumbai Indians. So not bad there if you guys have got it. Well done. Lalchand ji, as always, a pleasure joining you, because we'll of course be back after the match, but always a pleasure speaking and talking about the match ahead.
Yeah, my pleasure, Rupa. I think I always enjoy, these shows, and definitely I love it.
Yes, and we'll see you again after the match. Aap bhi match enjoy kijiye. Please stay safe. Please take all precautions. And of course, we are all with you in this. Let's not forget that. And we'll be back after the match to talk us through what's happened. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.